If there are over 27 million software developers, how do you become better than 99% of them? Well, that is a question everyone is asking themselves as they dream to work at a tech company that offers free food, unlimited vacation days, Nerf guns, chefs, high-paying salaries. However, to work at these tech companies and get an awesome offer, you need to do what 99% of other developers are not doing. To get there, you do not need to be some type of genius. I have worked in tech companies and I am no smarter than you, and I promise, and my GPA promises. All you need is some hard work and a roadmap that aligns with your goals. So let's go ahead and break this roadmap down into 5 simple steps that you can start implementing today. All right, so number 1 is to work on personal projects. And I want to make sure I emphasize that you can only work on personal projects if you have time, and everybody has different time constraints. But if you want to be one of the absolute best programmers, you need to put in the work. You don't need a bunch of side projects if you have experience, but creating side projects could give you a little bit of a bonus and have something that you're proud of to share. Now, when it comes to side projects, if you're new to the development world, quantity matters over quality. Building and working on projects every single day. There are so many mini projects you can work on to get a feel for a large amount of different types of coding aspects. When I was learning how to code, I tried to build 2 small projects a week. So after 6 months, I had almost 50 projects to my name, which is kind of a lot, but it exposed me to a lot of things. Once you've created anywhere from a dozen to 50 mini projects, try and create something a little bit more complex. This is where quality starts to surpass quantity. For example, if you're wanting to get into web development, maybe try and create a web-based Instagram where a user can create an account, post an image with a description that followers can see. Instagram is not an absurd application to create, but it sets you up for success if a hiring manager wants to look at your GitHub page because you let them know that you created this Instagram application. What I did was build an adventure game, which was pretty trash now that I'm reflecting, but it was my highest quality of work, and it was definitely good enough for a junior position at the time. Now, bonus points for this, and we all like bonus points, is to learn the basics to infrastructure. This is important because you do not want to create a product with a README page that has complicated setup tools where you have to download a bunch of dependencies to run the project locally. This is a perfect opportunity to deploy on a cloud infrastructure to flex even more skills. I had my adventure game deployed live for the interviewer along with my GitHub code. The second thing I did was define my goal. I am all about making things measurable, so my actions, just like my goal, may have to have something that's measurable and tangible. If you look up the definition of reverse engineer, you will get deconstructing individual components of a larger product. That is a super fancy way of saying pick a date on the calendar so we know how hard we have to work to achieve this goal. Since we are dealing with dates, we can make this date on the timeline, which is measurable and tangible. So for example, let's say our goal is to become a top 99% developer in 6 months. We can reverse engineer the 6 months from now into the future and fill in each day and every week with the small component of the larger goal. The third thing we need to do is get a pretty good idea of data structures and algorithms. Now, you will notice I said pretty good. This is completely different than what a lot of people say, which is master LeetCode and binary trees. I do not agree with this statement, and I think it ends up making you spend a lot more time on LeetCode or HackerRank than what is actually needed. Most companies are not going to quiz you on binary trees or ask you extremely hard time complexity problems. Most tech companies that I have worked with ask around a medium level LeetCode problem to see if you're capable of programming at these challenges at all. These LeetCode problems typically are about maps or arrays, so make sure you really know how to implement these. If you're not super biased toward a programming language, I would also highly recommend using Python. Python has a simpler syntax than other languages, which allow you to do things significantly easier. After the LeetCode problems, from there, interviewers typically go into more in depth about team collaboration, development and system design, and behavioral questions. Now, 2 things I really do recommend, which happens to be both involving books, is Cracking the Interview and Clean Code. Both of these will help you write cleaner code and prepare yourself mentally for the coding interviews. Now, along these same guidelines is that I just want to recommend reading more in general. There is a wealth of information in books that can completely change how you think. For example, I read Clean Code and then I read Clean Architecture. Both of these were written by Uncle Bob. I thought everyone read these books. I mean, they are some of the top ranked books on programming. And I was utterly shocked when I found out how many people haven't actually read these books. It made me literally within like a week understand significantly more concepts than my peers. So make sure you dive into books because they are an amazing amount of value. Now, number 4 is develop soft skills. This is a highly overlooked skill that you must have to be in the top 99 percentile of software software developers. Imagine if you're working on a team and you tried talking with other members and were not able to get them to speak, or not able to understand what they're trying to communicate with you. Having strong soft skills, especially communication skills, is the secret sauce, if I may, on how to make yourself even more unique than the others that are also applying for the same job. Soft skills is all about how to interact with other human beings. And in the software development world, you will be doing this a ton. But for some reason, development has this reputation of doing everything by yourself. Creating the next unicorn application by yourself, being a senior engineer and leading a team by yourself, fixing bugs by yourself, putting out fires by yourself, creating environments by yourself. I think you get the idea. When a team has a bunch of individual contributors not working together, that is known as siloing the developers. This is not a recommended approach by pretty obvious reasons. What I'm trying to say, which I hope I haven't started making this kind of counterproductive, is that software development is ultimately a team sport. Even LeBron James can't completely win by himself. All right, well, maybe LeBron can. But anyway, let's go to number 5, which is networking. If I had one thing I'd tell every software developer outside of their craft, it would be to network. I think networking is completely overlooked by so many. There are literally tons, and I mean absolutely tons of development communities you can surround yourself with to create and expose yourself to other software developers. Now, there are actually 2 main benefits of doing this. One, you are what you surround yourself. So if you want to become a top 99 percentile programmer, you absolutely must surround yourself with other programmers. But 2, you can meet so many other people. There are so many opportunities in life that are available by just knowing the right person. Outside of friends and family, nobody really knows who you are all that much. It is up to you to change that. If you're wanting to get into communities or want to dabble around what it feels like, just go ahead and check out my LinkedIn. I post daily programming content that can really help your thought process during this transition time. I will leave the link below in the description. Let's go ahead and just add one more additional tip, which is just to be yourself. Do not pretend to be anyone else. Have you ever met someone and you really like them for who they are, but they act slightly different around others at times? Yeah, don't be the latter. People see right through it and always like the first person better. If you want to know the top 50 career mistakes in software development, go ahead and check out this video, and I will see you in the next. Bye-bye.